the H.A.T.A.E podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the H.A.T.A.E podcast with me, Benjamin Madel, and today's guest, we've got Chris Grimley. How are you, Chris?
I'm brilliant, thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. As we always like to do on here, let's dive straight in. How did you get involved in hairdressing?
So it's been a lifelong thing really for me, from being a kid and doing tons of girls' worlds and stuff like that, and then just always wanted to do it. Can't remember ever wanting to do anything else. So yeah. It's a
That's
whole
brilliant.
thing for me.
So it was when you sort of right from the very dot, you knew that was what you were going to be. And
Yeah.
How did you go about getting into hairdressing? And so you went to school, and then what did you do after that?
Went to school, applied for college, was kind of put off it. So, you don't want to do that. It's a rubbish dead end job, blah, blah, blah. Usual story. But I was determined that's what I was going to do. But being from where I'm from the northeast coast. To say northeast, it's not as high as Newcastle. But obviously back in the day, because I am old, going to London was like a no-no. So I was desperate to do more stuff when I was younger, but it just wasn't an option. So it's been something that I've pursued now that I can, and yeah, so that's what I'm doing. But yeah, went to college, absolutely loved it, smashed it, got distinctions in everything. So knew that that's what I wanted to do, and yeah, just been beavering away ever since. So.
When you went to when you went to college, was that an apprenticeship? Was it you took, or was it more of
No.
a full time college course?
At the time, it was full-time college course. Apprenticeships where I live again were, they just weren't available really. So threw myself into college. But then it was full-time. You did go every day. It wasn't like it is now where you're very part-time into it. But it was good. I got some good teaching for sure to get me away. But then I put myself in a position where I got learning with the salons that I chose. So
So so how long was that? Was that a 2-year course, or was it a 3-year course then?
it was 2-year course, and then back in the day you had to do improvers, didn't you? You had to do
Okay.
up to 5 years improving. So every year that you were after you set level 2, you had to do like first year improver, second year improver, like that. So right up to 5 years. So then you could do your level 3.
Yeah. So there was a little gap, wasn't there? You had to get to a
Mm-hmm.
point. It wasn't a continuous progression of
No.
education as such, as in formal
Yeah,
education. It was more on the job, and then you could become do your level 3 and so on and so forth. So
that's right.
when you finished up your course there, you went into a salon, did you, or did you start working for yourself, mobile? What did you do?
No, I went straight into a salon. Wasn't the best salon. It was a bit dodgy, if I'm honest, my very first experience. So yeah, just I didn't stay there for long, obviously, because it wasn't really right for me. And then I was really lucky. I got in a salon where the owner was Tony and Guy trained, which was really rare in our area. We didn't even have a Tony and Guy then. So, but at the time, I just hated it. It was Sunday training. It was evening training. It was da 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 da. But actually, now I'm so grateful because it just gave me a really good grounding for what I do now. So yeah.
You
Yeah.
look back on it, it wasn't quite so much fun when you were young and going out wanting to do whatever and wanting to have all the
Yeah.
fun. And no, you've got to go to work on Sunday. You've got to go in. Oh
Yeah.
no, I know how to
Yeah.
cut hair, But then
Yeah.
you look back on it, and it does. It's always those strange little things, isn't it? You think that wasn't so bad, was it? It's not done me so badly now.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So were they big salons you were working in, or were they sort of smaller, more local type salons?
The second one that I got in with the Tony and Guy lady, that was a big one. She had 3 altogether. She had like 3 salons across our area, so she was very on it, and with obviously because she was well trained, and then she wanted us all to be well trained. So that was quite a big one in our town, in Grimsby town. But yeah, there weren't really any sort of posh sort of flagship kind of things going on, because that's not, that just didn't happen where I'm from. So I got the best of what I could, do you know what I mean, at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. No, absolutely. It has changed in that sort of regard now. I know the industry in the UK is it did used to be very London centric. Everything was in London, and I think
Mm.
gradually it's spread out a little bit more, and there's more going on, sort of more, what should we say, sort of higher end salons, for want of a better phrase,
Yeah, I
sort
think
of
so.
more spread out and whatnot else now as well.
Yeah,
No,
I
definitely.
think so.
So how long was it you were working? Because you're a salon owner as well. So how long was it you were working in salons before you went off and decided time to go on my own?
Oh gosh, I did do a lot of salons. I stayed with her for a long time. Initially, and then I had children. So I did do a little bit of mobiling, but just to sort of earn a bit of money, but that wasn't for me. I knew that wasn't for me really. So I did a little bit of mobiling, and then also I did a bit of teaching. So I've also taught at college as well. So I'm like assessor trained and IV trained and all that. And then I'd done that for a while, but I missed being on the tools. So I that's when I went and did my salon, opened my salon.
Yep. How long ago was that now?
So that will be 16 years this year.
So a little while.
Yeah, just a while. Yeah, just a while.
That's it. How did you find the transition from, obviously? So I'm assuming, did you go from working in the colleges as a lecturer into going
Yeah,
into that? How did you find that transition? Because it's a very different thing, isn't it? Especially like you say,
very different.
a little bit
Very
of
different.
mobile and then into that. So yeah. So
Yeah.
what did you find was the main sort of challenges with that?
I guess just making sure that my skills were up to together and the business side of it, because we all do that thing, don't we? We go, oh, I'm quite good at this. I'll open a salon, but the salon side is so different to the. Yes, you can be a good hairdresser, but that doesn't mean you're good at business, does it? So
No, no,
you,
absolutely. It's a
you
different
kind of
hat
quickly.
entirely.
Oh, absolutely. So you quickly realize, hang on a minute, I need some learning in this business business. It's like, oh God, I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah.
No, that's
So
it.
yeah, and then just set my stall out to learn everything I could about the business and about retraining myself and seeing what was new and what I needed to get on top of. And yeah, yeah.
And
So,
whereabouts was it you opened your salon? Was it in the similar sort of area to where you were working in previous salons, or was it somewhere new?
yeah, so only 10 minutes up the road. So I'm
Okay.
in the village of Laceby, a little like in the Shire, we call it Lincolnshire. And at the time, my kids were quite small, so I thought, oh, I'll open a salon quite near them, and then they can walk to me after school. So that was the honest truth as to
Yeah.
why I opened where I did. And obviously, I knew quite a few people there. So, a new venture, you sort of need to know that you've got some allies straight away, don't you?
Oh,
So,
absolutely. Yeah. It's always good to have a bit of a clientele, or at least a couple of
yeah.
people around you can help out, like you say, with the children and whatnot else.
Yeah,
Did you find that
yeah.
particularly challenging? I mean, you say your children were obviously at school at that point. Did you find that difficult juggling sort of being a mum and owning the business and whatnot else?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But that is something that I've always done. I've always got too many balls juggling. I've
Yeah.
all, I just think I don't know whether that's a hairdresser thing or whether we all just like to be super busy or I don't know. We're just bonkers, aren't we, sometimes?
No, absolutely. I think it does. I think it comes from sort of the hairdressing thing of obviously sort of wanting to please people, and it's like you don't want to. Well, I haven't really got time, but I'll do it anyway, and or
Yeah,
what else it is. It's a very hairdressery type of thing to have. Then when you
yeah.
started your salon, did you get staff straight away, or did you work on your own for a while, or how did that work for you?
So when I first opened it, I opened it with another lady. She'd only done hairdressing as an adult, so she wasn't. She liked it, but she didn't have like the passion that I had. So after a few years of doing it with her, it became a bit clearer that it wasn't going to go anywhere because she was like not as passionate as me. And at one bit I was doing loads of clients and she was doing not as many and then taking the same amount. So it
Yeah.
kind of got a bit awkward, how these things do. So we decided that we needed to go our separate ways. So I kept our business and she left. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that is a
So
difficult thing with partnerships in business. It can be very,
mm,
very difficult. It's like, especially sort of, I do see sometimes you see sort of hairdressers and a business person perhaps doing it as a one person sort of puts the money in and the other person does the work and whatnot else. And then sort of obviously if you're doing the work and you're getting half the money, and like you're saying, is sometimes it
yeah,
can be an uneven balance. And
yeah.
it can be difficult. So how long is it since you've been on your own with the salon?
So I've been on my own for what would be 7 years now, I think, 6, 7 years. So yeah, yeah.
Are you
So
finding that works better for you? Do you like
oh,
that
completely.
idea more?
Yeah. I love being in the driving seat. And since I've been doing it on my own, it's just grown and grown. Yeah, we're up to I've got there's 7 of us now. So and also last year we moved to new premises around around the corner. What I spent a year renovating because it had not been touched for 50 years.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So so that was a big job, but it meant that I own it. So I own the building and we've got more space and everything. So yeah, it's lovely. I love it.
Absolutely. Shifting back a little bit, when you were in business with a partnership there, did you have other staff as well, or was it just the two of you?
We just had a receptionist, that was it. So it was
Okay.
just 2 of us and yeah. So yeah, it's grown massively. Yeah.
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 And at what point did you start taking staff on? And did you find that a challenge when first employing people? Did you find that?
Oh God. I've learned so much about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just really what I would say is just trust your gut. So if you're not getting the right vibes and you're not getting the right feelings about somebody, don't go with it because it'll bite you on the bum. And I did that a couple of times before I realized that, that's not the way to go. So yeah, you can quickly get into a lot of trouble when you've got the wrong person in your business. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
No,
would definitely say go with your gut.
no, it's the most difficult aspect of business is staff. That is,
Mm,
is anyone who says otherwise, I think might be telling a few porkies. It's keeping people happy. It's sort of you're juggling so many balls, especially when you're dealing with teams of people. It's
yeah,
so difficult.
yeah,
And like you say,
yeah.
one bad apple could spoil the whole lot very quickly.
Oh, very, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, we've got a great team now. We all gel really well. We go out once a quarter, take them all out, and we have meetings every week. And so we're all time communicating because you know yourself in a busy salon on a busy day, you really don't talk to each other because you don't get time. You're talking to your clients, aren't you? And
Yeah.
you don't actually get that time to discuss. So we make sure we always have time out to communicate. So yeah, it's really good.
No, that's brilliant. Do you find that those sort of you say you have weekly meetings and what? Do you find those really help keep everyone along the same track in the salon instead of starting to sort of weave off into different places?
Absolutely. So we have the weekly meetings to I obviously have things that I need them to know if there's offers or deals or things like that coming up, but also to iron out any issues, any problems that they might have. So they obviously get the floor as well to say if there's anything that they need to say. And I think what it does is it just nips everything in the bud, something that's small and in their mind could be getting bigger that's not really anything, but often is the case in your own mind. Sometimes you make things worse than they are, and you talk about it and you go, "Oh, okay." Once that, so
Yeah.
we like to sort of. I just like to keep everything really, just really good for everyone and keep a nice atmosphere. So yeah,
Yeah, it's a great way to do it, and it's important to be disciplined with doing it, isn't it? It's because otherwise,
yes,
that missing 1 week sort of becomes 2 weeks, becomes a month, becomes 6 months, becomes a year, and before you know it,
yeah,
it's all spiraled out of control again. And
absolutely.
when you started employing people, did you start? I'm assuming they are employed; they're not self-employed. And
They are employed. Yeah,
they're
yeah.
employed. So it's when you started employing people, did you employ a lot of people at one point, or did you sort of gradually build the team out over time?
No, so I've built them up over the time. So basically I've generally taken an apprentice every year. So then you get that overlap of somebody's learning and then somebody's in the first year, somebody's in the second year. So I've had 5 through now. And then I took Beth, who she's a senior now. She'd not done a level 3, she'd done a level 2, but then her salon that she was in closed. So she reached out to me and she's been a little gem. So she's works for us now. And then my first one, Adele, that I got from splitting up with my partner, she came and she's a senior. She was a senior from the get-go, but she'd fallen out with hairdressing and she was like, oh, I don't know if it's for me. Anyway, she loves it again now. So I'm really chuffed and she's really happy to learn and train and like all that. So yeah, it's really, really good.
That's fantastic. how do you find that you say you take an apprentice every year, which is great. I mean, how do you find for a start getting the apprentices? Are you find that is that a challenge now, or is that something that's not so much of an issue?
So in my area, I think obviously like my reputation's quite well. So I think people understand that, I've done education as well and I'm still doing education. And obviously the salon, we win quite a few awards and bits and bobs. And obviously this one that we're just nominated for is massive. So yeah, so I think we've got a good reputation. So I do get applications for people wanting to work for me quite regularly. So I know I'm one of the lucky ones because I know
Yeah,
people
yeah,
really struggle with that. So I don't know whether it's because we're in a smaller area or what it is, but yeah, I seem to be touch wood. I seem to be quite okay with that. So
yeah.
yeah,
It is.
okay.
It's good to hear. It's obviously a testament to what you're doing because it is. It's from everyone that you speak to, really, 99% of
Mm,
them get an apprentice. It's it's hen's teeth. And if you get involved with
mm.
applications, it's brilliant. And what do you find the retentions like with your apprentices? So you train them up and you put them through the do you educate in salon as such for the qualification, or do you send them elsewhere to get the bit of paper?
So, so they go to college to get the piece of paper, but
Yeah.
I do all the training with them. Yeah. So I've set up an online platform that they can access from the phones. And
Okay.
it's like everything is on there from how I present a cup of coffee and a cup of tea to balayage and complex colouring and afro and textured hair and everything's on there. So as they're working through their qualification, they just get a bit more released, and then we'll do it practically. And then I'll go. It's just me. It's not. They're not pretty. The videos. They're just me going right. This is how we do this. Da, 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 this is how I want it done.
Yeah.
Um, and then they've got something to go away and reference to practice. So yeah, yeah. So when they've done it so many times and they're up to, well, it is a bit of a standing joke in the salon when they're up to Chris level,
Yeah.
then they can do it on clients. So
Yeah,
yeah,
they're allowed. Once they've made you a cup of tea well a few times, they're fine to be released. But yeah,
yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah.
yeah, it's a good tea. They're fine. They're fine for the salon now. Are they? How do you find sort of
Yeah.
your retention with them, as in keeping them in the salon afterwards? Do you find that they sort of stay for a little while and then go elsewhere, or is it somewhere that some? It's obviously individual, isn't it? Some will go sooner than others. Yeah, etc.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I've only lost one,
Okay.
so I'm taking that as a win.
Oh, very
And
much so.
and that was kind of like one of the ones I learned about.
Yeah.
I was trying to be a savior, and you can't save everyone, can you?
No, 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 exactly. That's the problem, isn't it? Sometimes it is you
Yeah,
try your best
yeah.
and you think, yeah, oh, well, come on, we'll turn you around, but yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work out. Now you, tou-
No.
now you touched on the awards there earlier. I know you've just been nominated for a British Hairdressing Business Award. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, I'm just blown away with that one. So, the awards that we've done, don't get me wrong, I'm not down in any way at all because I'm so proud of every single one. But I've never really gone for the big ones. You know what I mean when I'm saying the big ones. And I just always thought that they really weren't for little salons, like mine. So,
Yeah,
I've never really sort of attempted it. But I thought this year I've just thought, do you know what? Just do it, have a go, see what happens. And guess what? We
yeah,
finalised. So I'm still buzzing from it. I'm not going to lie. I was like, my phone started going mad the other day, and I was like, congratulations. Because I was at the salon just beavering away as you do.
yeah, working.
And
Yeah,
I'm thinking, what's going on? So I looked at my email. I was like, oh my God.
yeah.
So yeah, really pleased,
Oh,
really pleased.
that's fantastic. So what was the award? It's Salon Business of the Year 2, is that? I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so there's one the big salons that earn, I think it's over 350K, I think.
yeah,
Not there yet.
yeah. One day.
And then below, so that's salon two. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Exciting.
So is it? Do you tend to enter them all the business awards, or do you enter creative awards, or do you tend to enter a bit of everything?
I've tended to stick with like salon ones, if you like.
They're sort
So
of they're hair
try
centered.
Yeah, trying to get my salon on the map. I did do some textured ones last year and got those, so won those. So I'm doing some more of those this year. Obviously that coincides with my launching my education for textured hair. So yeah, so I just want to get myself a little couple of stamps for that as well. So yeah.
Oh, definitely. What awards were they that you won last year?
Best textured salon in Lincolnshire and best textured hairstylist in Lincolnshire. So,
Brilliant.
yeah, so yeah, really good for the salon awards. But we also win best salon, best colour salon. God, I can't remember. I think we got about 5 last year. One of my apprentices got best newcomer as well, so that
Oh,
was
brilliant.
great. So yeah,
Is
yeah.
that something you do as a salon as well, rather than sort of just yourself? Is everyone entering awards if they want to, or do they have to?
Yeah, yeah, I give them the choice. It's up to them. I don't force them, but I do say to them, if you're entering, it's your entry. I will check them for them and, suggest if I can add anything to them. But I think there's no point in me doing them for them because then it's not their entry and it's nothing, they're nothing gained from that. So I am quite, I was never that mum that did their own work for the kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah, no, quite right. It doesn't help them, does it? It doesn't help
No,
anyone.
no.
I'm not sure it even helps individuals that do it, but yeah, I think it's an important thing to do. And do you find that sort of sparking that creativity in your staff helps along in the salon as well? 'Cause obviously,
Yeah,
do it.
I think so. And I think I put myself out there as well. Like I'm currently doing Fellowship Project X. I did Project Afro last year. And I think it just all inspires them, the upcoming hair con. I'm on the stage and I asked them if they want to come. One of them wants to come, so she's coming to see and stuff. But yeah, it's up to them. I don't force them, and I don't expect that they're all going to be wanting to be superstars, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's up to them, completely up to them.
yeah. It's there if
So
they want
yeah,
it. If they don't, they don't. So long as they're doing,
absolutely,
as long as they're
yeah,
doing the business
yeah,
in the salon, it's all good. You
yeah, for
you, me-
sure.
you mentioned HairCon there. We've actually got a discount code for HairCon for the people
Oh,
who listen to this podcast and who
fabulous,
are part of the Facebook group. If you type in HATAE 10, you get 10% off your tickets. So there you go. You can
brilliant.
get 10% off your tickets for HairCon, and that's any ticket. Could be the full weekend, day, VIP, you name it, you get it. So that's fantastic. So you do a lot of stage work as well, do you, Chris? Obviously doing
I've not.
HairCon
It's
and
a new thing. No, it's a
okay.
new thing. I did a little bit last year with the fellowship, and yeah, I've got a few bits this year again. So yeah, yeah. No, I'm not. No, I'm not experiencing any of that sort of thing. This whole showing myself off and being up front, this is all new to me. I've normally sort of hid behind my salon and gone, this is my salon.
Yeah, deal with that
So,
one. No, it's the
so
hardest
yeah.
thing to do. It's the hardest thing to do if you're not inclined to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's certainly the way. And how have you found working with the fellowship? So that you say you're doing Project X this year, which is a general all-round project, isn't it? You do a little bit of
It is, yeah, a
everything.
bit of all sorts. Yeah, a bit of all sorts. Yeah, no, they've been so lovely, so welcoming. And the for me, the people that I'm getting to meet and network with, the people that I've looked at, from like over the industry, like through the industry for years, and like now I'm chatting to him, I'm assisting him on the British Hairdressing Awards and stuff like that. So it's amazing, really. Like last year, I assisted Junior to do his shoot for BHA, and he's somebody that I've looked up to for years, and now we chat. Do you know what I mean? Like we're mates.
Yeah,
It's great.
that's brilliant.
Just yeah, I love it. It's really sort of made me realize like people aren't untouchable because I think there's a lot of people still feel like that. And I feel like sometimes you just got to push yourself to get in amongst it. And actually everybody's really nice. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. If you keep turning up, stuff happens.
yeah, that's right.
That's essentially the way that I've always done it. I'll just keep turning up. I'll turn up to the opening of an envelope.
Yeah.
And I'll be there. But it's
Yeah.
brilliant. So you found with sort of those, because it's a continuing education project. Are you finding, because obviously you're an experienced hairdresser. You've been a salon owner for 16, 17 years. So
Yeah.
are you finding that sort of continued education is helpful for you then to go back into the salon and help your staff as well?
Yeah, so I like to do, obviously we do in salon training as well. So, if they want to see something or they want to know something, then I've got sometimes doing this other stuff. I have sometimes some new things up my sleeve that I can show them. And so it's all like inspiring and motivational for them. Even if, like I say, they don't want to, be superstars or go and do stuff themselves, but they certainly get, there's certainly the offers there for them if they want to. So
That's
yeah, it's
fantastic.
good.
So you touched on it just a little bit earlier there. You do your education as well. You're currently doing in-person education, aren't you? What
I
areas do
am.
you work in with that?
Yeah, so I'm trying to get on a mission with our industry because it quite upsets me that we're one of the very last, I think, I can't think of anything else that segregates people because of the hair type. Um, and that really upsets me. So I'm trying to get everyone doing curly and textured hair because I know in 2024 I can't walk in any salon and get my hair cut.
Yeah.
And that's not good. That's
No,
not
no.
good. So if people can just have a little bit of education and understand that it's a bit like, my analogy is always, if you're a seamstress and you say to me, oh, sorry, I can't sew your denim because I only sew cotton, it's the same thing. You can sew denim, you just need to set your machine up with a different cotton or a different needle or whatever it is, but it's the same thing. You just need to know the information about it. And it kind of, I'm really passionate about this. I really want everyone to be able to offer at least a wash and style, or, a basic cut or some sort of, and build up your skills. Don't just think, oh, I've got to have a whole menu for textured and afro and curly hair. You don't. You can just build up a bit and get that confidence and get people in and let them. And as soon as you start doing that, honestly, it's going to open so many doors to so many more clients. I have people travel for miles to me, and it's ridiculous. It really upsets me. And people are like, oh, I could, I'm so upset. Like, I can't believe I've had my hair done properly for the first time in my life. These are people in the 50s, it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I just think, I don't understand it. I really don't.
Why do you think that issue is there? Do you think it is a gap in education? Obviously, because I mean, from where I trained, I mean, I was slightly different. Both my parents lived in Africa. I was born in South Africa, so obviously there was a lot more exposure. So my mum and dad are hairdressers as well. That makes it easy. So where I was
Yeah,
in sort of suburban England in Surrey, there wasn't really the market for it. But my father obviously knew how to cut textured hair, so he taught me
yeah,
how to cut textured hair. You
yeah,
sort of you
yeah,
learn how to do it. Do you think
yeah.
it's a gap in say what should we say, the college system with that, or do you think it's a gap and
Yeah,
that gap widens the longer you go in your career, the intimidation
it
factor
does.
of it?
It does. And then there's a massive fear in there, and you're just like, oh gosh, I don't think I could do it. Yeah, it needs to be from the get-go. I mean, at the college where my lot go, if somebody with curly or textured hair walks in there, oh, get one of Chris's, they'll be fine.
Yeah,
Because my lot do it from the get-go. So for them, it's, I don't even know where, what's the problem, they don't see it. So that is absolutely the right thing then. But that doesn't stop the gap of all the people that are just bimbling along and doing hair and not inviting these people into their salons. It's time now. We need to get this education out there. And I don't care whether you get it off me, whether up the road or whatever. Just make sure somebody in your salon can welcome these people in with confidence, with some decent skills. And if you can't do everything, that's fine as well. Just be able to offer something, you
no,
know.
absolutely. I'm along the same lines as you there. I feel that you certainly should at least be able to offer the same haircut, same services that you would offer anyone else who walked in. It's
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
I can fully
Yeah.
understand why people perhaps aren't up with sort of the braiding and the styling, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you don't
L-
have to do full head weaves, you don't have to do
That,
full head braiding. That's fine.
yeah,
Like,
that's almost another skill in itself. It's like
yeah,
even
yeah,
working, on sort of as many shows and shoots and things that I have is there's always specialist braiders. But the thing is,
yeah.
even if sort of you're doing that, you're doing high end fashion shows. It's like people are often surprised that you sort of when they got me doing their textured hair. You know,
Yeah.
it was like,
Yeah.
do you know
Yeah.
what you're doing? You know, because obviously they've had
Yeah.
bad experiences
Yeah.
in the past. I was like, we'll be all
Yeah.
right, you know. And it was
Yeah.
but once you got the trust of them, then all of a sudden you would have a line,
Yeah.
of people sort of say, oh, well, no, he's all right, you
Actually,
know, yeah,
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 this is
yeah,
where I need to be. Yeah. But the world's getting smaller. So it is also, to me, if you're not doing textured hair, you're missing a trick, because people are mixing, and most hair very rarely has no texture
yeah,
of some sort. So, if you're not doing textured hair, and my other big thing, and this is, people are like missing this all the time. So, my son is white with ginger hair, but it's an afro,
okay,
right? So, there's this whole thing of, oh, I don't do black hair, black this, black. You're missing the point. Like, it's not the color of the skin, it's nothing to do with that. It's the hair, it's the hair type. You just need to know all the hair types, because these are all mixing in. I've got a little Chinese girl with an afro.
yeah.
Now that's really unusual. I've never seen that before, never seen it since. But this is how the world's mixing now. So you need to be able to do this hair,
Oh,
and don't
certainly,
be looking at skin color, because that's not a thing anymore.
yeah. No, certainly. It's an interesting thing there. It's like you're saying with the curls and whatnot. The amount of people that would come to me before, and these weren't necessarily sort of heavily textured hair. It was even just sort of a bit wavy, a little bit bigger, a little bit
Yeah,
bulkier hair. People
yeah,
people just aren't comfortable with that, and it goes back to exactly what you said earlier. It's nothing different. You just have to do it a little bit in a slightly different
just
way. It's not,
slightly different
yeah,
tools, slightly different products, slightly different, it's just, you just need to know, and you need to be able to do it with confidence, so that that client sat in your chair is not thinking, what the hell, there's nothing worse. And I've experienced it. There's somebody coming and touching your hair like it's like an alien, or do you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to do it with confidence, do it,
yeah.
properly, get the education, learn how to do it, what you're dealing with.
Oh, definitely. You're still using a comb and a pair of scissors at the end of the day, or a comb and some clippers.
Exactly,
It's
exactly.
nothing,
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
too intimidating. So, with your courses, so you're saying you've done the in person. You'd hinted at it earlier that you're launching online as well.
Yeah, so I do my in-person one. My next one's the 27th of May. So if anybody wants to jump on, that one's still available. Um, and then I'm just working with Chris, the profile guy, to get it all online. So yeah, it's a bit of a job, because obviously I've got to get myself and do videos and so,
Get all the
yeah.
stuff done. Yeah,
Yeah, get all the stuff together. So it's a work in progress, but what I'm hoping to be able to offer is what I'm talking about, these little snippets of how to cleanse, how to moisturize, how to, and really go through and really break it down, so that actually you'll watch the video and you'll go, right, I could do that now. So you have a practice, you get somebody in, a couple of models, and you get on it, and then guess what, you can offer it on your menu, because it's not rocket science, it's just slightly different. That's all it is.
yep,
It's what we do. But slightly, you'll know yourself, Ben, when you've got afro hair in the basin, you can't just wet it, because it's just going to take forever to wet. We know
yeah.
that. But if you don't know that, you think, what's going on? It's not working. Do you know what I mean?
No,
So
absolutely. It's that exposure to information.
yeah.
Is what people need. So with your online courses, will they be standalone sections? So say there'll be a section on, like you say, washing, preparing the hair. Will there be a section on cutting, or will it sort of be as a course in itself?
So at the moment, I'm going to do little snippets, I think, because I think that's what people need to start building up the skills, and just almost like break down my in-person one, if you like, because
Yeah.
you get all of that obviously with the whole day. But I'm just going to break it down into bite-sized pieces, so then people can just get on board, learn that bit, get that bit down, learn the next bit, get the next bit down. I think sometimes you can have too much information, can't you? And you get a bit like bamboozled. So I'm trying to do it in bite size, and then hopefully that'll make it easier.
No, certainly. I think as well with sort of the generation coming through, I think that's a far easier way of doing it. You can do it in little sections and move it along.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's much easier to digest what's going on as well. Um,
Yes.
with those courses, I mean, what's the price point you're looking at with the in-person courses?
So the in-person's 250 for the day. So and that's me all day. You've got theory in the morning. So a bit of background, bit of getting this information down, bit of taking away the fear, bit of history, bit of how to talk to people, how to approach it, all that kind of stuff. Tools, equipment, obviously products, all that sort of stuff. And then in the afternoon we get hands-on, get some models in, get some curly models in, get some afro models in, have a look at the differences, and yeah, and just get some, you know, some experience hands-on. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the important thing, isn't it? It's just once, I think that, like you were saying, once people sort of get into it and start handling the hair and things, they start to, oh yeah, this isn't that sort of the intimidation factor sort of slips away.
Yes, yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's amazing to watch actually, because in the morning I get them all to write down what their worries are, or what they think about it, or what they think's going to be happening, or and hopefully throughout the day we cross all these worries and fears, and yeah, generally they're all gone by the end of the day, and they're like, oh my God, like why have I not been doing this? So it's a bit of a light bulb moment, you know, when people are sort of like, I feel embarrassed. I've had that, like, I can't believe I've been shying away from it and stuff like that. It's, you know, it really needs to change. I feel like really like, if that's my legacy, then yeah, I'll be happy with that
No,
for sure.
absolutely. I mean, it's from a sort of an inclusivity point of view as well as a good business point of view.
Mm,
You know, it
mm,
is, you know, it goes back to, like you're saying, a seamstress wouldn't turn away someone because they've, you know, necessarily bought the wrong cloth with them. You know, it's,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
simple as that. So where can people book the course if they wish to get on the course with you?
So I've just got a website up. It's called texturedcurlacademy.com.
Okay,
Um and yeah, so there's a in-person on there that I haven't got my online on there yet, because obviously I just said I'm working on it. So but yeah, eventually if you can just go on there and sign up anyway, and then you'll get any updates and stuff. So that's all ready to go. So yeah, yeah.
perfect. We'll let people know when the online stuff. We'll keep in touch, and you just let me know, and then
Yeah,
we'll put it
yeah,
out. We'll
for
put it
sure.
out to the world
I
when
think
you're
if you
on.
sign up, it'll just tell you anyway when it comes. See,
Okay,
I'm
so
not techie at all, can you tell?
that's all right. We cut hair. We cut hair. We work it
Yeah,
out as we go.
absolutely.
We work it out as we go. That's what we do. Well,
Yeah,
I think that just about rounds us up, Chris. Thank you very much for coming on. And if you want to get on the course, the date in May is the
7th.
27th of May. So if you wish to get on the course there with Chris on the 27th of May, that's in the northeast of England. So that's sort of
It is
south.
Lincolnshire. Yeah,
Lincolnshire. So you can get up
yeah.
there nice and easily. How far is that? You near a Newcastle or Manchester?
Manchester. Oh God, Manchester's 2 hours away.
Yeah. Okay. So it's near a
So we're
Newcastle.
on the east coast.
Yeah.
That's
On
on
the
the west coast, isn't it, Manchester?
Yeah, yeah. It's it. It's north of Watford, Chris. It's terrible. I know nothing north of Watford.
Honestly, you southerners.
I know, I know,
Shocking.
I know. It's terrible. But thank you very much, Chris, for coming on. It's been a delight having
Thank
you on.
you.
And like I say, if you want to book on the course, hit her up. Thank you very much.
Thank you ever so much. Thanks, Ben.
Bye bye.
Bye.